It's Siobhan Muir. I'm saying hello to the great unknown. I am saying hello to all y'all who have come to join me. I'm hoping that you guys can tune in today. And I hope to see you stop by today for the Saturday Evening Soliloquy on YouTube with Siobhan Muir and her dauntless romance. You know how things like that go. Anyway, I wanted to welcome you all tonight. What the title of this one is, the Saturday Evening Soliloquy, New Old Loves. And what's fun about, hey, Terry, welcome. Good to see you. Yay! What's cool about New Old Loves is, well, I'm a paleontologist. That's what I got my degree in before I became a romance author. Although I'm still a paleontologist whether I write romance or not. I just happen to know a lot about dead things along with paleontology or along with romance. So, but I don't do necromancy, so don't even go there. Hey, welcome, 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 Nellie. Good to see you. All right, so I wanted to talk about new old loves, and kind of what this refers to is things that I've recently picked up, but I've loved for a long time. One of the things that I've recently picked up is what can I call it? I guess it's a decal, except for it's a sticker, right? That you put on your car. And one of the things that Wyoming is known for, I mean, they're pretty, at least stately, patriotic, stately nationalistic, I don't know, whatever. Most people here in Wyoming, at least in Cheyenne that I've seen, have the Wyoming emblem, which is the steamboat. Steamboat was a pretty raucous bronc on the back of their car. You know, this is the bucking bronco with the cowboy with his hand up and all that stuff. That's a very Wyoming thing. And so when you live in Wyoming, your car better have something like that on it. Fortunately, mine does. Mine does. Not through anything I did, but fortunately, mine does have the beautiful Wyoming emblem of Steamboat, the bronc with the cowboy throwing his hat up. Well, but we're paleontologists, both Mr. SM and I. We're both dead thing specialists. So what we were driving one day, and ahead of us is this car, and the car has, oh my gosh, the car has a emblem of a skeleton sitting on a horse skeleton in the bucking bronc look, right? And I'm like, oh, and Mr. SM said, we need to find that. So it took us a little while. It took us a few months, and we finally found it. We finally found the emblem. Let me show this thing to you. It's so cool. I haven't decided where I'm going to put it yet on the car. That's why it's still here. Look at this. Oops, here. There you go. See the bucking bronc? Isn't that cool? It's the bucking bronco with the cowboy in the hat. It is so cool. So we're going to eventually put this on the car, and, you know, because it, you know, we're very proud to be in Wyoming. We're also proud to be dead thing specialists. Isn't that awesome? I love it. I just love it. So we got a dead thing. Here we go. That'll give us a little less reflective. We have a dead thing on a dead thing in the Wyoming emblem. So, yeah. So I'm going to put that on my car. And what was cool is that it came with a smaller sticker. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It came with a magnet. So I have a littler one that's a magnet that is on my refrigerator. And then the guy who made it, his business card is a red, white, and blue version, like a patriotic version of this. Hello, welcome, owner. It's a red, white, and blue version of this thing. It's about that big, and it's his business card saying, "Yeah, you want to buy some more of this stuff?" Thing, yeah. So yeah. So there you go. I have a dead thing to put on my car. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. So you know, like I said, new old dead, you know, new old loves. Since I'm a dead thing specialist. So we're really excited about that. We're going to put that on our car. The other thing I wanted to kind of show you. Hello, Yes Books. Welcome. The other thing is that I tend to knit, especially when I'm really stuck on a story. I want to have something creative that shows up immediately. The thing about writing a story is you write the darn thing, and then you edit the darn thing, and you write some more, and you write some more, and then you have to wait for it to come out, right? Because it won't become a physical book or even an ebook for a while. You have to write the whole thing. You have to construct the whole thing. The nice thing about doing things like knitting is that you can see that as it develops, you have a physical representation of it. So one of the things I've been doing is I've been looking at some of this knitting stuff that comes out, and they have a bunch of skeins of yarn that kind of now come in multiple colors, right? So you can get, you start it at one color, and then you get this whole almost rainbow effect of all these other colors. Well, some of these skeins of yarn are named after mythical creatures, like wizard or sphinx or pixie. I think there was a Valkyrie. I know there's a Valkyrie because I bought it. Trying to think of the others. There's a whole bunch of them, right? Pegasus, unicorn, chimera, stuff like that. A whole bunch of different kinds of yarn, and they come in different colors. And so I thought, well, So originally I picked up a wizard, and then I picked up a centaur, and I picked up a Valkyrie, because I have these characters. I have a centaur, I have a Valkyrie, and I saw one today and I couldn't resist it, okay? I had to pick this thing up. Look at this thing. Oops, this is really washed out. Here, hang on a second. Let me see if see that color? Look at the color. It's kind of almost rainbow in color, right? So that color is, this one's called, let me refer. This is called Thunderbird. Now, the book that just came out, that wonderful book that I wrote recently that just came out on Tuesday, called Burning Yuletide, is about a firebird, okay? But his twin brother is a thunderbird. So, I figure what I'll do is I'll knit this thing, and then I'll give it away as swag when the Thunderbird story comes out, because right now, it's just a firebird. So, yeah. Isn't it amazing? It's actually, the computer washes out the color. I do apologize that it doesn't look as brilliant, I suppose, if I could. I don't want to add more light. If I add more light, everything gets washed out. But it is, dark red in the middle, then red and orange and yellow, and there's some green in there too, and then blue, and then there's purple, and it goes back to that dark red. And so, yeah. It's actually very, very bright, which is, I'm a big fan of bright colors. I love bright colors. So there you go. It'll, if I knit that thing, I'm hoping to make like a scarf about that wide, maybe 5 to 6 inches at the most. Okay, so maybe about that wide. So it'll be a nice scarf, and it'll be pretty long. And I figure, well, it's, I have the Valkyrie for the Valkyrie's sword, and I now have the Thunderbird for the Thunderbird's book, and so I figure, eventually I'll make all these scarves for people when I can't get the stories to to talk to me. What do? You gotta do something creative. I'm not one of those people that if I get stuck on my stories, I have to have other creative outlets. So I bake. I have to bake. Today I'm going to make lava cakes. Kat Johnson, who is another author friend of mine, is put up a recipe, and it says lava cakes, and lava cakes are usually chocolate cake with chocolate ooze in the middle, right? So you cut into this little cupcake, and the chocolate oozes out, and then you get to use it as sauce. Terry says, where do you get the yarn again? I got the yarn at Walmart, because unfortunately we don't have much shopping here in Cheyenne, so I have to take what I can get. But Walmart seems to carry all these mythical yarn groups, and like I said, it's one length of yarn, but it's been dyed in several different colors. So I'm hoping that it works really good. So yeah, Walmart is where I found it. Yeah, that's where I found it, in their kind of crafty section. I'm sure that Joann Fabrics would also have it, but I found it at Walmart. And yeah, so that's been kind of, it's a nice way to give my mind a rest, because knitting is kind of brainless. You just kind of go, and it's all done. Well, More or less. More or less done. Okay, so the other thing I want to tell you about is I started reading a new book because, despite the fact that I write a lot of books, Joann's would probably be more expensive than Walmart. Yeah, probably. Despite the fact that I write a lot of books, I like to read because that's another way. It's like someone needs to tell me a story. I tell you guys stories all the time. I need someone to tell me a story, which is kind of how Mr. SM and I met. We started going to movies together because someone needed to tell me a story. It has all the colors listed. Oh, yeah, Lion Brand is the one that does it. Yeah, and it's called Mandala Yarn. That's right, Nellie. And it has all the colors listed. And it's really, like I said, they're all really fun, and I just picked the ones that I liked the best. I liked Centaur, I liked Valkyrie, and I really liked Thunderbird. So, and considering these are characters, the Centaur, the Valkyrie, and the Thunderbird are all characters in my world, I figured, well, hey, I could make something with it. So I've started, when I'm writing, I like to take a break, and I like to watch movies, and which reminds me, I need to tell you about a movie I saw last night, and watch TV shows that entertain me, so I can turn my brain off and let them tell me the story. I don't have to think about it. Now, if they don't get the story right, I will critique them, saying, "Hey now, hey." That is not right. So, last night, I'll tell you about this and then I'll get to what this other thing I was doing. Last night we watched a movie called Rememory, right? And it's Julia Ormond and Peter Dinklage and Anton Yelchin was in it. And I think there was a couple other actors, but those are the three that I remember really distinctly, that I know their names. And it was a story about trying to, this doctor had made this machine that could clarify your memories, even years later. So you'd focus on it, and it would show you the original memory, rather than all the layers you've put on it since the event happened, right? So this guy really wanted to connect with this doctor to get to a memory that he had where his brother had died, and they got in a car crash, right? So, and I'm not going to tell you the whole story because it was a really cool, almost psychological thriller in some ways, or psychological suspense. And he had to find out, he wanted to find that original memory so he could remember what his brother said, because his brother was mumbling something right after the crash. And he wanted to know what his brother had said. And so that was the whole point of getting the machine, to be able to use it for his memory. But the doctor ended up getting murdered the night. So the story is about that night that the doctor got murdered. And there's like 3 or 4 people that you're just kind of like going, who was it and why? So there was a young woman who was really mad at the doctor, and she was like, we need to talk about this, and he's like, no, I'm done with it. And then there was a young, really angry man, and he was threatening to kill him, and then there was the wife of the doctor, and then there was Dinklage, and you're not really sure what all Dinklage wants to do, but he's the one who decides that he needs to solve the doctor's murder. And so it was kind of cool how they stretched it out, and they put in little, and he's using the machine, right? He's got this almost like earphones, but they're pressed against his temples. And so he uses the machine to kind of get back to some of the memories that he's been hiding and he's been forgetting. So it's kind of cool. So you get to see the development of peeling back the layers of the filters that he's put on top of those, of that memory. And it was really neat. If you have time to watch it, it was really good. Now the previews to it were kind of set up like they were action, adventure, drama, horror type films that don't make you happy at the end. And this one, I wouldn't say ended happily, but it ended kind of sweetly, kind of where, everyone, all the stuff was resolved. Not necessarily happily, but it was resolved, and you feel like there's a sense of satisfaction because the story was finished. The name of it is called Rememory. So memory with R-E in the front, Rememory. And, oh yeah, I love, me too, Stephanie. Peter Dinklage is one of my favorite actors. You know, I liked him in that movie Penelope, where the girl with the pig nose. I love that movie, especially because James McAvoy's in it too. It's like, oh, he's hot. I'll look at him for a while. And I liked that movie. It was really funny. But Dinklage has been one of my favorite actors since I saw him come on the scene. So I recommend this one called Rememory. It was good. It was really good. Oh, it's such a sweet movie, isn't it, Nellie? Penelope? Oh, such a good movie. Anyway, so that was one of the story last night that I stayed snuggled up to Mr. SM and we watched a movie together because it's our thing. Mr. SM and I are movie buddies. We always have been. We've gone to see movies. We've gone to see TV shows. Yay! He's my movie buddy. So one of the TV shows we like to watch was called Rizzoli and Isles, right? It had a female cop. She's a detective in Boston. And then her best friend is Maura Isles, who is the ME. She's the one who does all the autopsies and stuff like that. Peter Dinklage is a great actor. He can do it all. Yeah, comedy, drama. He's really versatile, and I really like about that. Yes, I love Rizzoli and Isles. It's one of my favorite TV shows, right? Well, it turns out that Rizzoli and Isles was based on books by an author by the name of Tess Gerritsen. She's a suspense author. She might have elements of romance in it, but mostly she's a suspense author. But she's a storyteller, and she's a former surgeon, so she has all that medical background. Well, so Mr. SM knew how much I liked Rizzoli and Isles, so he went for my birthday. He went to a used bookstore downtown in Cheyenne, and he found me a book. It is called The Sergent by Tess Gerritsen. It is the very start. It's the first book in a series, and there's quite a few of them. It is the very start of Rizzoli and Isles, right? And Jane Rizzoli shows up in this book. Now, we start off in the perspective of Thomas More, who's another detective. I don't know who he is in relationship to Rizzoli yet, because I've just started the book. See, very started. But this book so far, and I'm only 12 pages into it, and it's already good. I mean, I would totally recommend Tess Gerritsen's work just from the first 12 pages I read, and based on the TV show that I've seen. I will love it. You've read several of them. Oh, fantastic. Oh, good, because I knew she was a hell of a storyteller, but this is, so far, I'm enjoying it. And I'm looking forward to, I bought a couple of them. This is of course the first one, so I'm trying to read it in order. But yeah, because the next one I have must be further along because Jane is pregnant. And I'm like, wait, no, that can't be the first one. So now I do understand. We first watched Rizzoli and Isles and really enjoyed it, and we were so sorry to see it end. And it ended early. It ended halfway through the 7th season. And we were like, what happened? Well, it sounds like the producers of the show did not have permission to use her books and her characters. That there was some sort of financial, or the compensation wasn't there, and they weren't legal about it. And so, rather than kill the show, which was terrible because these two women characters were very, very strong, and they were so delightful. But it came up that there was something not quite kosher with how they put the show together, so they had to end it. That's what I thought, Terry. That's what I thought. So that's why I'm like, I want to read this one first. So, as I understand it, the series had to be ended because they hadn't been, I guess, honest would be a best way of looking at it. And in which case, I'm so sorry to see it go because the women characters were so strong, and that is something that we don't get to see a lot of, not only in TV but movies. That the show and the movies are led by very strong women who don't who aren't bitches, they're strong, independent women. They have senses of humor. One of my favorite episodes was when Jane Rizzoli was wearing a fringe jacket, and she's twisting and turning and going, "I love my fringe." She was teasing the daylights out of Maura Hiles. And it was awesome! I loved it. And Maura's going, "Oh my God." But so she had a sense of humor, and yet there was a sense of vulnerability, and Rizzoli doesn't deal well with her emotions, which is kind of interesting. But on the other hand, she cares very deeply about her family. She cares very deeply about her partners, because there's a couple other detectives in the unit that she really gets along well with, and I'm not even talking about her brother. And she cares very deeply about Maura and her friends. So it was a really good show, and I really appreciated it for what it was. I'm very sorry that they weren't legal about it. So there you go. Anyway, so I'm reading this one. Like I said, New Old Loves. Right? This book has been out for a long time. I believe it was published. Oh my! It's been published in 2001. So yeah, it's been out for almost 20 years. And I'm reading it now. But that's okay. See, that's the great thing about books. They last forever. Yeah! Hey, Heidi, welcome. Hey, Bern, welcome. So glad to see you guys. It's nice to see you. So, New Old Loves, right? Well, one of the other things I wanted to tell you about is my good friend Louisa Basio. Louisa is another author like me. She's a romance author, and she's smart and funny, and she's absolutely beautiful. If you've met her, she often comes to the writer cons in a corset. I mean, this woman is just sexy as all get out. She's smart and funny too, so she's the whole package. But one of the things we've been doing is she and I kind of send each other gifts because, well, it's fun, and I like doing it, and she likes doing it back. So there you go. One of the things we really like to share with each other, though, is strong women. And when Wonder Woman came out, I know she collects pop figures, little things with a bobblehead a little bit. I think it bobbleheads, maybe it doesn't, but it's a pop figure. She originally, when the Avengers came out, I found a Black Widow pop figure, and I bought it for her and then I had to wait for her birthday, which is in October. So I was like, okay, I'm going to send this to her. And then I was worried, oh my, it's been a while. She probably has it already. So I sent it to her, and she goes, oh, I didn't have that pose. I didn't know they made that pose. That's so awesome. It's so great. Thank you. Okay, so then Wonder Woman. You have 12 of the Rizzolian Isles? Yeah, that's good. It's good books. So the Wonder Woman came out, and of course both of us really enjoyed the story because in addition to a very strong woman, the story was about hope. It was about awful things can happen, but it all depends on how you choose to react to it. It doesn't mean that it was happy. It doesn't mean she's all like, no, it's fine. It means you can choose how to respond. And it was important to give young girls an opportunity, one, to stand up to the bullies, two, to kick ass and take names, but three, that you don't have to give up that soft, tender, loving side of you to still be strong. That's, as a matter of fact, you need that to be strong. So Louisa, of course, we've been trading gifts for a long time now, just because because it's so fun. In any case, I love Louisa too. I really love Louisa. So what did Louisa do? She sent me, look at this, a Wonder Woman water bottle. Ah! I got a badass water bottle. Let me tell you. This water bottle can kick ass, take names, take a beating, and never get knocked down. Anyway, I got this really cool water bottle from her, and yeah, now I got to see what I can send her because it's so fun when she sends me things. And the other thing she sent, this is so funny too. We're both erotic romance authors, right? And so, in addition to sending each other strong women stuff, we also kind of do some tongue-in-cheek stuff because we both write about sex. We both have families. We both understand what happens when you have sex. You get a family very often. especially if you're in a committed relationship. So, but part of writing about sex and part of writing about adult interactions and humor. I mean, not as good as Tess Gerritsen and Sabrina York, but excuse me. We write about, there's a great deal of humor in the way we look at sex and interaction. So what did she sent me, this is really funny, she sent me pasties. Oh, I don't know if you can see them. They're so bright. Do you see? She sent me sparkly pasties. You know what pasties are. They go over the areolas on the breast, right? So she sent me sparkly, almost Vegas pasties. I laughed so hard, I couldn't believe it. And I showed Mr. SM and he goes, oh, I approve. You can wear those tonight. He was all like, yeah, I approve. You can tell Louisa I'm good with it. The nice thing about pasties is you can wear like white t-shirts, stuff like that, and put them over it so that, you know, nothing shows through. So that's nice. But I'm not sure about the sparkly ones. The sparkly ones might be, well, they might show up. Like you wouldn't like them. Yeah, I'd probably do that to my best friend. She would love them. I love them. You know, hey guys, I'm totally going to wear these things. I'm not going to tell you, but I'm totally going to wear them. I'm totally going to. And like I said, Mr. SM approves, so way to go, Louisa. Oh no, yeah, Bern, he was totally good with it. Right on. So yeah, she sent me those goodies because, you know, that's what we do. She and I, we trade each other some fun things to give each other smiles, and that's really what it's all about. Excuse me here while I drink some water because I'm gonna die from talking to you guys for 27 minutes. Okay, all right, ta-da! All right. So the other thing I wanted to tell you about, because it's sitting over here, if I don't knock down everything, which could be really exciting, in February, on February 22nd, which is George Washington's birthday. I know that. Heidi says, I made 2 friends naughty suckers for Christmas and they laughed their heads off. I have a naughty sucker. I've had it for a while. I should probably eat it. Haven't done it yet, but I will. My 6th authorversary. So I've been published now for 6 years on February 22nd. I am going to have an authorversary party somewhere. Probably Facebook, but somewhere. Oh, you want more? I can supply you with them. Oh, Heidi. Oh, Heidi. Maybe. Anyway, my authorversary is February 22nd, 2018. I will have done this for 6 solid years, and it's just getting more fun. I mean, obviously, I'm getting pasties in the mail from other authors. That's good. In any case, so one of the things I'm doing is I'll have some giveaways, like I did for my birthday, only hopefully I will mail them out a lot sooner. So for everybody who joined me for my birthday giveaways and I finally got them to you, thank you for being so patient. I try to do it a little earlier than that. That's the day before you go to Rare London. Fantastic, darling. Well, what am I going to do? I am going to give away calendars, if I don't overwhelm you with the light. Yes, Siobhan Muir calendars. Each month has a different book cover. You see the book covers? Ta-da! And there are 12 of them, I promise. And here's Queen Bitch. You know, don't forget the Queen Bitch. Let me think. Oh, and the new one that just came out, which is Burning Yuletide. It is in December, so you get to see Burning Yuletide. Ta-da! Anyway, these calendars will be available as giveaways for my 6th. There are 6 of them, and for my 6th authorversary. December's your favorite, Heidi? Nice, mine too. I kind of like it. They're very pretty, and well, this one's another one of my favorites. Rope a Falling Star. Gotta love Rope of Falling Star. That one's good. And then, but I also like, Order of the Dragon. I just like them all. They're very pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them away. After that time, I might consider, putting them together and selling them. But there's definitely going to be giveaways in February. All right. I'm not going to do them, because after that is like, you're already into the second month. Don't you want your calendar already? But in any case, I'm giving them away. How did I pick only 12? I tried the most recent ones, Burn, and I tried to pick stories and when they happened, right? So, for example, In Death's Shadow starts out in about March. Okay, so it's the book starts in March. It goes longer than that, but it starts in about March, right? And then The Valkyrie's Sword starts in May. It's before Memorial Day, so it's May. And then Rope of Falling Star takes place during Cheyenne Frontier Days. So that's in July. So there you go. So that's kind of how I picked them, and I want them to be the most recent ones. Although I'll tell you what, you can't go wrong with Her Devoted Vampire. It's one of my favorites. Just the image, the guy. I picked him out like it was the book was published. Actually, ironically, this was the first book published. So this is the book that was published that got me to be a published author, right? So February 22nd, that's when it came out. But the book takes place in later in the year, and it's a vampire story, so I figured October. But the minute the book came out, and I got a different cover for it, I found this image of this guy, and it looked just like the hero. And I'm like, I have to wait 5 years before I get the book back, and get the rights back to it, and put this cover on. Well, I didn't have to wait quite that long, but Her Devoted Vampire came out in 2016 with the new cover. And it is a sexy cover. So, yeah, that's how I picked. Now, who knows what I will be able to put together next year, right? But for this year, I'm giving these away for my sixth anniversary. So, it looks like I froze. I hope things get better. I do apologize if it froze. That's not good. Maybe it'll come back up. I hope it'll come back up. Any case, what else can I tell you? I guess that's kind of what I have for you tonight. Obviously, tomorrow I will do. Uh-oh, it looks like it stopped. If you guys can still see me, I'm not ignoring all y'all. I'm just. Wait, I might be back. No, I'm not back. No, I'm not sure I'm going to come back. So, in any case, I hope you guys have a great evening. If I don't catch you, I apologize for it freezing, and I just noticed that it did. And so what I'm going to try to do is an error occurred. Okay, so I will wish you the best, and I will talk to you later. And we can always do this tomorrow for the Sunday morning tea. Hopefully it'll record this, but I don't think it will. Anyway, I hope to catch you later, and we'll do Sunday morning tea tomorrow, and I will write it in the live chat. Okay, so if you do get to see this last little bit, I will put you on the live chat We'll put in the live chat that I will be live tomorrow. If you don't see me tomorrow, you can always see me next weekend. All right? So, oh, you do see me? Oh, fantastic. So I'm not just talking yet. You're like, nobody can see me. No big deal. I know if I kind of like, I've got the brain dead. Okay. So tomorrow, Sunday morning tea starts at, what time does it start? It starts at somewhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Mountain Time, which is 9 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Mountain, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 p.m. Eastern, right? But it's somewhere in between there because I'm done, I don't do everything the same thing. The other thing I wanted to tell you is that if you can't catch me tomorrow morning, you can always catch me back here live on YouTube. And I know it was a little hinky tonight, but we'll be back here live for the Saturday Evening Soliloquy on YouTube. And we'll be talking about whatever, romance, writing, hot guys, pasties, whatever. So I hope you have a good night, and I will talk to all y'all. Yeah, tomorrow morning, if you guys want to, or next weekend. So, thank you for joining me tonight. Sorry about the technical difficulties. That. And I will talk to you later. And let's see if I can end this with grace and charm. See you later.